Digital Shorekeeper will Windows.exe your enemies, and today I'm gonna tell you how to build her best. My name is Juice, and let's get into it. So what echoes does this computer lady desire? None other than 5-piece Rejuvenating Glow. This is easily her tried and true best in slot set, with there not really being any particular reason to select anything else. You see, it offers a 15% attack boost for the entire team, which expands upon her overall buffing profile. The additional 10% heal boost is also splendid for her kit. Also, the attack buff has a wild 30-second uptime, meaning that it'll easily benefit the rotations of almost every team in the game. Easily her finest set, there's no reason to pick anything else. Moonlight Clouds can work too, but the issue is that it'll only boost the attack of a next resonator that swaps in, which in most teams will be your second slot teammate, not your main DPS. The main benefit is that the extra 10% ER that the set provides, but you'll easily be able to reach Shorekeeper's ER requirements through other means. So this is more so an alternative that you're able to use until you're able to get a full Rejuvenating Glow set running on her. 2-piece mix and match sets include 2-piece heal percent and ER percent. As for Shorekeeper's main animals, simple. You want to use Fallacy of No Return. This gives Shorekeeper 10% extra ER, and when used, you buff the attack of everyone in your team by 10%. There's really no other choice you should be using. If you don't have Fallacy yet, Bellborn Geocologne works fine too. You get some extra survivability from it thanks to the damage blocking, and it offers 10% damage bonus to everyone in your team. Otherwise, Impermanence Heron is who you'd use on Moonlit Clouds, thanks to the 12% damage increase that it offers to the next character. But once again, remember that Rejuvenating is much better for this computer lady. As for Shorekeeper's main stats, simple. Go for 4 cost healing percent or crit damage percent, 3 cost ER percent, 3 cost ER percent, 1 cost HP percent, and 1 cost HP percent. You generally want to build plenty of ER percent in order to meet her ER requirements that allow you to take full advantage of her Stellar Realms crit buffs. If you find yourself having less and less of a need for good healing, then you can even opt to use a crit damage forecast, because her enhanced intro skill is always fixed at 100% crit rate, so she's able to put in some additional damage, which actually isn't all that bad for a healer. Go for whichever suits your personal needs. As for Shorekeeper stat goals, simple. You only really have a few. You want to have 250% ER total in order to max out her Stellar Realms buffs. You get 10% from her I4 and another 10% from using Fallacy. You should basically always be playing her with Fallacy, but in the case that you aren't, then you'll want 240%. This is her only real stat goal. Otherwise, just go for as much HP percent as possible. If you want to build crit, then you can aim for about 270% crit damage, but that's entirely optional. Remember, her intro's hit is always fixed at 100% crit rate, so rate rolls aren't really doing anything for you. As the Keeper of the Black Shores, this digital waifu is going to need the right weapons to keep the place safe. So, what'll her finest weapon options be? Well, typically this is where I'd say none other than Stellar Symphony, and yes, that is absolutely Shorekeeper's best in slot. But there's a catch. First, the positives. A great HP percent increase, extra Concerto energy upon casting a Resonance Liberation, and a sizable boost to your team's attack percent. The catch is that, while this is a really good weapon for her, you'd much rather pull signatures for all of your main DPS characters first. This is a small upgrade to an account that doesn't have well geared out DPSs. Is this her best in slot? Absolutely. But because she's a healer that already offers bucket loads of value at S0R0, I'd only pull this if you already have good 5-star weapons for all of your main DPS characters. If you've met those conditions and have all the sequences that you currently desire, then you're sorted. And this is in fact a good account upgrade. Otherwise, variation is goodness me. It's going in the Hall of Fame with these three, dude. Genuinely a killer support rectifier. It's amazing for Shorekeeper in specific too. Shorekeeper has a longer field time than most characters, and because of the additional Concerto energy that this weapon offers upon Shorekeeper skill cast, your rotation is made a whole lot smoother. Not to mention the truckload of extra ER you get too. It only gets better with the more refinements that you can obtain as well. Easily her best in slot 4-star pick, no questions asked. Call of the Abyss is a free-to-play accessible choice that can be attained from the Vesalio Falls Tower questline. It's good on her, but because it doesn't give her any Concerto energy, you'd use this as a last resort pick if you don't have anything else. Replace with a Concerto providing Rectifier as soon as you possibly can. Rectifier 25 runs into the same issue, along with Rectifier of Voyager. You can use these choices 100%, but keep in mind that they won't be as effective as using a Concerto generating option. Replace the variation at the soonest possible opportunity. You see, when it comes to Shorekeeper's teams, it's a little funny because she works with every DPS in the game. There is legitimately no team where she does not work. No matter who you main, she will be of benefit to you, barring one specific instance which I will touch on soon. So I'm going to go over her best in slot archetypes, give some example teams for each archetype, then discuss the sole scenario in which she isn't best in slot. Funny I say that, because even in that scenario, she remains as being a very solid choice. Let's kick things off with hypercarry comps. Essentially, teams that focus on buffing up one damage dealer heavily. This archetype is easily one of the ones that utilize Shorekeeper and her buffs the best. You'll go through the natural rotation of using your Shorekeeper, then swapping into your second slot teammate, then you'll have a golden Stellar Realm up whenever you swap into your main DPS. This means that your main ult will always have max Stellar Realm buffs, and the overall rotations for hyper teams involving Shorekeeper is very, very smooth. She is an essential piece to having most carries reach the peak of their potential, and if you main a hyper carry, then I 100% recommend Shorekeeper within them. It doesn't matter which traditional carry it is, they will work well with her. Example teams include Carlotta, Joja, Shorekeeper, Camellia, Sanhua, Digital Waifu, Jinchi, Coordinated Attacker, Windows Startup Menu. You get the idea. Quickswap teams can also utilize Shorekeeper excellently, but you won't have her Stellar Realm set to gold for a portion of the rotation, because the rotations tend to be more unique. Unless you're playing a traditional third into second into first type of rotation, you'll likely only get the gold on Stellar Realm a bit into the rotation. This isn't the problem with Changli Brent rotation so much, as you're able to play those in a more fixed way. But for other dual carry teams, keep that in mind. Of course, not a deal breaker for them by any means, as she still ends up being the strongest buffer for them in general. Example teams include Changli, Brent Weathering Waves, Shorekeeper, Shangli Yao, Plan with Convention, Butterfly Woman, the esteemed Montelli Lady, Conquer by Ingenuity, Gaming PC. Alrighty, so, the one team archetype where I don't think she's as dominant will be negative status teams. This is because Phoebe makes less good use of damage amplification compared to your other DPSs, as she already has so much built into her kit. She's also easily able to overcap on crit rate, and Spectra Rover can hold Rejuvenating Glow. There's far less of a need for Shorekeeper, simply put. She can still definitely be good here, but she isn't best in slot. You'd rather use somebody like Sanhua for a big basic percent buff, or quick swap with Changli. Otherwise, in some specific setups where the Stellar Realm duration isn't long enough to suit a specific playstyle, you'd rather use Verena instead. But that only applies to something like doing 2 double Fortes on Dungeon. Otherwise, this computer lady works with legitimately any character that you could ever think of. No matter who you main, you'll be sorted. Yet how does this computer waifu play? Well, her rotation is very simple. Essentially, for her opener, you basic 4 times, use a charge attack, basic 4 times again, use another charge attack, use her skill, echo, use her ult, then swap. And then for her consistent rotation, you intro in,
from the heart.
basic 4 times, do a charge attack, use her skill, echo, ult, then swap. If you aren't using variation or signature, then you want to add more basic attacks into your rotation so that you can smoothly attain her outro skill. Definitely a straightforward rotation. Yet how does Shorekeeper work? Well, her basic attacks will deal a few simple Spectro strikes, with her charge attack at full Forte offering a small void that groups nearby foes. Nothing much else to add here. If you hold down the normal attack button, she turns into a butterfly and flies around, gradually restoring Forte points. This is nice for getting around in the overworld. As for her skill, she'll heal your entire team and then summon 5 butterflies which will track and attack enemies. Good stuff. As for her liberation, she'll release a Stellar Realm, which starts off giving no buffs and heals the teammates inside of it. As you cast more intro skills, it will change color and offer more buffs. Purple offers up to 12.5% crit rate, and Golden offers up to 25% crit damage. Her Forte circuit is what turns her collapsed cores into butterflies, which track foes and do a bit of damage. This is a fairly ignorable ability. Her intro skill on its own won't do much, but if you intro into Shorekeeper with a Gold and Stellar Realm active, she will absorb the realm, heal all of your teammates, and deal spectral damage that has a fixed 100% crit rate. It's good to weave this into your gameplay, as the additional damage, while not much, is certainly nice. Her outro skill will amp the damage of all your party members by 15%, while also allowing you to dodge more easily, so more DPS on the whole, along with easier survivability. Great stuff. As for Shorekeeper's Ascension passives, simple. Her I1 is a free revive if any of your party members end up getting fatally hit. This is just some nice extra survivability more than anything else really. Her I4 gives her 10% extra energy recharge, helping out with her build requirements, assuming that you're inside of her Stellar Realm, and if you're using Rover on the team, he also gets 10% extra ER added to himself, since she's a simp. As for Shorekeeper's Forte priority, simple, go for this. Her intro skill is optional, as if you aren't focusing on her own damage, then it doesn't really matter. You can also level her Liberation and skill for more healing. Her crit buffs are fixed regardless of Forte level, so you can get away with not leveling her Forte, and then her basics should be ignored as well. Simple stuff. Want to upgrade this PC's parts? Then let's talk sequences. The Stellar Realm gets larger, casting your enhanced intro no longer deletes the realm, and the Stellar Realm becomes 10 seconds longer. All some excellent quality of life, a great S1 to attain for sure, but nothing that's needed by any means. 40% attack when the current meta is thriving off of attack scaling DPSs is truly something else. Really worthwhile, a great way to invest your asteroids if you're looking to upgrade your account on the whole. This shortens her field time via offering 20 Concerto energy after she casts Liberation. Great if you're looking to optimize your clear times. Otherwise, skippable. This is kind of a useless ability, since you shouldn't be having survivability issues with Shorekeeper in the first place. Only get this if you're on the way to S5 to 6. This makes her grouping better, which aids her in AoE, but once again, not really needed. Still better than her S4 though. I'd only get this on the way to S6. This hugely increases the power of her enhanced intro skill, making her sub DPS way more significant. But honestly, I think it's far more effective to go for S6 on a main DPS character instead, if you really are going to go the whole way. This isn't a bad ability by any means, but you're pretty limited in what you can do with it. I'd ultimately stop at S2 or S3 at a push. I'd go for S1 to 3 before considering her main rectifier too, as variation is more than good enough to cover you. Her signature is good to get after you've invested in all of your main DPSs. S0 R0 is more than enough to serve you well, but because of Shorekeeper's excellent shelf life potential, any investment that you do make into her will last you a very, very long time. Shorekeeper easily remains as one of the most meta units in all of Wuthering Waves. I understand that people get a little upset when the phrase must pull is used in any capacity. However, it's undeniable that this is as close as we're ever going to get to a character being a must pull in Wuthering Waves. If you care about the meta, then she is easily one of the greatest investments you could ever make. I feel that she'll continue to be relevant for a long time, and it'll take a lot for Kuro to completely diminish her value. Certainly a unit for the ages. What do you think about Shorekeeper? Are you ready to butterfly all over the place? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, I have a ZZZ second channel. Head on over and subscribe if you're interested in some fun, silly ZZZ content. I'd also like to mention that I stream on Twitch. I stream once a week every week on Saturdays, starting from free PMK time. Come along so we can play Wuthering Waves, Z, and do some other fun stuff together. Hopefully this video was able to get your Shorekeeper cancelling her enemies' downloads. This has been Juice, signing out. And now that we have Shorekeeper, we need to wait for the waifu personification of a gaming chair. Now that will form a team worthy for the ages.